So finally I got some time to work on Collaborate and Learn part 13. Now what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to focus on the mix. I'm going to basically wipe the slate clean on the Cubase mixer, and we're going to basically go through and try and make the sound as good as we can do. The structure still needs a little bit more in it, but I'm wondering if maybe once the mixing is done, those kind of elements are going to start to become apparent, and we're going to get the motivation to finish it off. And also, you know, Steve, and you know, apologies for taking so long on this, but you know, I'm a bit random when it comes to some of these things. I get kind of energies to create lots of different types of videos, so sometimes I can get distracted. Got very limited time, so I'm sure you'll understand anyway. Now, what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to show you firstly setting up the Maschine as a controller for Cubase, so you can use it as a, you know, dealing with the transport and stuff like that. So I've managed to get it working, and so I'm going to do that now for you. I've got a little kind of lo-fi video that I've done on the iPhone, and so we're going to look at that section first, and you're going to see it in action. Then I'm going to set up, show you how to do it on the actual controller software, set it up and configure it within Cubase, and then we'll dive into the mix. So Steve, the batteries on my overhead camera have run out, so I'm having to use the iPhone, so I'm sure it's going to be fine. But anyway, look, here's the Maschine Mark II, here's Cubase, and I'll just show you here what we got. So I've got remote control, that's play, stop, record. The other great thing that I really like about this is the Rotary Control. I don't know what the replacement is on the Mark I, but I'll show you. If I turn left and right, that's creating the movement of the playhead inside Cubase, which is lovely. So the ability to kind of just adjust forwards and backwards is really nice. This is a remote control. Stop. There are other parameters that you can map as well. Basically, this is a Mackie emulation. So what I'll do is I'll show you how to set this up in the next part of this video. So Steve, I'll show you what I did. I'm going to come over to the controller editor software here, which is the app that's supplied by Native Instruments, and you know, you've seen me use this for the Ableton Live control, where it works really nicely. But you want to set it up for Cubase. So what you need to do is to load up the Mackie Control preset. Now, on the factory templates, you've got it listed here. You may see something a little bit different, but Mackie Control will be listed. All right. It's a real kind of industry standard now, adopted by loads of different hardware controllers, so it's going to work nicely. You get a summary of what is happening here with the controls. I mean, I was using the transport over here, so you can see that running, and various other bits and pieces. So it's going to show you what your equivalent of the wheel is going to be. And the audio scrub could be good fun. I haven't tried that yet. It's almost like a kind of tape forwards and backwards. So make sure this is set up on the Mackie Control template. Now in Cubase itself, you need to come to Devices and come down to Device Setup. Remote Devices, you see here I've got Mackie Control set up. Now if you don't see that, of course you're probably not going to. You need to click on Add Device and then come down the list and find the Mackie Control. Get it set up, click on that, get it in the list, and then Mackie Control on the MIDI inputs. I just dropped down to all MIDI inputs. I actually tried with just a machine controller and it didn't work the first time, so I just dropped it down to all MIDI inputs and click OK, and it works absolutely fine. So this is giving us remote control, and it works really nicely, you know, so it's quite handy. It gives it that kind of hardware software kind of hybrid feel. It's nice to have a hardware device for doing the playback. I don't know if you've tried that iPhone app, actually, the Cubase IC Pro. That's actually really nice too. But you know, what you need to do there is you need to have it on all the time, which it means that, you know, you need to adjust your timeout for the lock screen and stuff, and unlock it if it does get locked. Much nicer to have the hardware permanently connected, you know, so that's what I'd recommend. So yeah, that's that little intro thing done. So get it sorted, see how it goes, and fingers crossed it's going to work for you. So what we're going to do now in this proper part of the video is to focus on the mix. Right, so I'm going with the window on full screen here. You don't need to see me anymore. We can really focus on getting this sorted out. And you know, one of my feelings about this track is that, you know, it's like there are some things that need fixing in the mix for sure. So we're gonna basically go through that. And actually, the other thing is that it made a point about the vocal. There was some kind of issue with this. So I'm just going to bring this up. And what was it? It was a vocal. Yeah. Now that's it. You can see the very end. So there was this little kind of glitch with the sample. So I'm going to bring this so that we don't hear it. So that appears to be before that point. That seems to be good. It's weird it was snapping it back on there. Right, yeah, I prefer that here. I'm glad with that. That's going to be better. So, yeah, we're not hearing that click anymore. That's great. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to start again from scratch. There's a lot of stuff that's already in here. This is quite a brave move, to be honest, but I think it would actually make good content for a video. So, just going to work out where things are. It's been a little while since I've spent some time with Cubase again. It's nice to come back to it, of course. And what I'm looking for is the ability to kind of wipe the contents, take all this stuff away, all of these effects, all of the things that we've been doing so far. And I'm just going to take a look up here, channel types, agents. No, it's not that. Looking for some means of clearing absolutely everything. Here we go. It's got to be here. Got to be. There we go. Reset mix consoles. Wow, this is going to be a big move. Let me click on here. Do you want to reset all channels? So I'm going to go for all. See what happens. Wow. Okay. So we are stuck right at the beginning in terms of the mix. That's fine. I'm hoping the grouping is still in place. I'm pretty sure it will be. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a section in the track that we can use as a kind of looping point. So I'm going to select here, push P, and I'm going to take a look at getting the drum bus sorted out. So the group channel track for the drums, and let's see what's going to go on with this. So let's get this back up. Luckily these are all focused over in a similar area, so I'm just taking a look at the moment. Let's see what happens. Something else to bear in mind is that I'm using earbuds at the moment as well, so I'm going to have to take some educated guesses on some stuff, but I will play it out loud towards the end. Okay, now you can see up here that, you know, we've got a situation where we're pretty hot already. So what I need to do is I need to bring some levels down, and there is a way to do multiple selections. I'm just going to try and see if this is a way. So I'm holding down the shift and clicking on these, and if I come up and right click and say link selected channels, let's see what happens. Control group. Now this is going to be something new. I don't know exactly how to use this. Just going to have a look. So link selected channels. Let me see how this goes anyway. So control. It looks like there's a lot more options now for linking stuff up compared to before. So I'm just going to see about getting all of these and link them up. So if I pull this down, I'm assuming they're all going to come down. That's great. That's what I wanted. So let's have a look. Right, let's get a little balance here. And actually, this is what Steve provided. And one of the things to bear in mind when you're mixing is that for each individual element you add, the level is going to go up here on the master. So obviously what you don't want to do is to have all your faders really high and for there to be like loads of peaking going on, because you're only going to have to go and reduce that somewhere else. So we'll just try and get this all nice and tidy. And I'm not sure that routing has worked, you know. Let's just turn this one down for the moment, because I'm not seeing any level come through the drum group. So what I need to do is I need to just see here routing, and we need to take a look at what's going on with these guys. Yeah, they're going through the stereo out. So what I need to do is to run these through the drums group, and because they're all linked, they've all been routed through the same drum bus, which is great. So now this fader over here is for the drums. That's great. And you can see already it's actually quite a substantial level, you know, but we can, the great thing about it is we can take all of these individual sounds now routed through this bus. As a group, collectively, we can turn them up and down. So this is basically summing all of these individual channels. So that's great. That's the advantage of running with groups or buses, you know, depending on which DAW you're using. Let's bring some of these sounds down. Oh, I'll tell you what I need to do. I need to unlink these. So we're going to say unlink. And let's have a listen. It's going to bring these down. One of the techniques you can use when you're trying to balance sounds is to bring the faders down and gradually bring them up. Let me take that. Some people will say when you're mixing, you need a certain level with your kick. I don't follow any particular numbers or anything. I just kind of get a feel for it. So let me bring this up so it all makes sense. So that's there. Let's have a listen. Feeling is a little bit okay. So stab's coming through now as well. Let me take that off. And just to be sure, so I don't get anything else leaking through, I'm going to reduce. Okay. So we're not playing from there. Let me get it playing from here. Okay. Where did I set my loop point? I can't remember. Let's try here. That's definitely the wrong point in the track to be looping. Try here. So funny when you listen to a track back in its real raw state. It sounds radically different. And I'm going to solo this drums bus for the moment. So what else we got? Now when I'm listening to that clap, I'm hearing something doesn't sound quite right with that. There seems to be some kind of extra energy coming through. So we're going to bring this up. Now, I hadn't analysed this before. The clap that Steve has used has got tons of bottom end on it. Look at this. Okay, so it's really messy. And what I'm going to do is we're going to use the low cut. We're going to turn this on, roll this up. See, that's thinner. Alright, that's great. Now also up the other end, there's too much energy up here at 20k, look. So we're going to turn this on, bring this down. So this is where we get rid of the unnecessary low frequencies, the unnecessary ultra high frequencies. Yeah, up at 20k, we don't want to hear that, you know, coming through really loud. It's just going to make it uncomfortable. Also, we're going to lose headroom. Alright, so my hunch was correct on that. That's actually sounding a lot better now. Let's have a look at bringing that kick back. Now my first temptation is to move the shaker over a bit, create a stereo image, because I also want to see what's going on with this one. Yeah, it's quite nice, you know. Don't want it to be too gimmicky, you know, too wide, but I think it's got a nice sort of stereo picture to it. I've got a funny feeling something's going on with these shakers too. Yeah, look, there's a lot of energy down here, so we're going to say low cut. That's good. High cut. Little safety net again. And this one I suspect will be the same too. So loads of low frequency energy. Let's turn this on. It's really nice, this mixer, the way it's got all this set up. Really easy to see what's going on. Really handy. Obviously with these earbuds it's going to be hard for me to get the precision EQ stuff sorted, so the spectral analyzer is really helping me out here. Okay, that's really nice, that second kick. Really like the programming that Steve came out with here. I'm wondering about this clap. Let's maybe add some interesting stereo image to it. So we've got here the Steinberg stuff, and we've got spatial and panner, mono to stereo. This can work quite nicely sometimes, adds a bit of width. I actually like that, it's got more of a presence to it. Bring it down a bit. The widening seems to have added some level. Oh my goodness, do you know what? I can feel something really heavy in there. Steve, where'd you get these samples from, mate? You guys need to check my Black Book sessions. There's a video all about hi-hats, particularly if you're sampling from records. You've got to watch out for these, or even some libraries, they will be messy. Now basically we've been losing headroom because of these sounds in the mix. This sound here on Finny could be could really benefit from some space around it, and I can't remember if we had some effects channel tracks. So I'm just going to say here, project, add track, effects channel. Let's drop this down. Let's go to reverb. Let's go for this reverence reverb, which is actually very nice. So this is going to be a nice bit of reverb, and I'm going to feed into that. So this will be somewhere over here. Rainforest. Maybe we cannot see the returns. We can't. So sends, and actually this is the mixer. We need to see channel types. That's it. So just familiarizing myself with this again. So we want effects channels. Oh, they do appear to be here. I just need to find them. That's here. Okay, just going to say here reverb, and let me do what I was going to do with that hat. Just going to send over here to the reverb. Okay, let's bring this into the mix. Just want to take a look. I can't actually see the reverb on there. I don't know what I did there, so I'm going to redo this. So yeah, I've been spending a lot of time on other apps, so just getting myself refamiliarized. There we go. So maybe too much of a send on that effect. That's nice. I might actually send some of that clap to that too. Now actually realizing this is taking a bit of time, you know, so I'm probably going to have to do this in a few parts. Okay, it's working nice. Some engineers, they spend like a day mixing a tune like this. You know, this is the reality, right? And you know, some of us have got really busy lives, so sometimes we take shortcuts. I've got to say that's what I do. I really should put this level of detail into my mixing these days, but I'm always in a hurry. So it's actually really nice to take time out and to do this for you guys, so you can see it happening actually. So that's working nicely. Don't know if there's anything on this effects bus. I'm wondering when that other hi-hat's going to come in. So that's sounding nice. I'm just going to save this. So it's Command Shift S, isn't it? Or Command Alt S gives us a new one. Let me just try that again. So Command Alt S. Is that saving? I'm looking for a new number here. There we go. So this is giving us a sequential file name. So it's a nice way of backing up. So Command Alt S. And let's move this on a bit. Let's try and find where that hi-hat's coming in. That is the breakdown. Okay. Was there actually anything in here? Yeah, there is. Right, open the hat. And then we got blocks as well. Okay, that was something that I added. So with the hats as well. So let's get some of these in. Try and find out where that missing hat is. Right, now these are pretty harsh. So the 808 hats. This is the percussion. Okay, let me just bring this down for starters. Wow, lots of low frequency energy again here that I don't think we need. Maybe a little bit of reverb on that one as well. See how the track really starts to come alive, you know. Experiment with a bit of panning. No, I prefer that being more central. Now these hats, I think we're going to have a problem with these. They sounded really high. Oh my goodness, yeah, they're really, obviously really high in level, but also high in frequency. Let's deal with those highs. High cut. Turn the power back on. Let me just check something. Okay, yeah, it's because I put the pre on. Turn that low cut on. Strip that out. That's sounding better. I might stick some widening on here. Feels like it could do with it. This is a great plugin. That's good. What's this stab? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to come onto the music stuff on another video, I reckon, by now. So let's take that off. You know what? This track is being transformed. There's no doubt about it, by the fact that it's being mixed properly. So there's something to bear in mind. I mean, maybe this. I wanted to get a reference on that little blip. Yeah. Okay. Right. So I'm gonna leave it there on this video because I've realised now this is going to be a bit of an epic.